You alright? It's Yorkshire ASMR. I haven't done a face video in a while, but I do have good reasons. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for this beam of light here. My iPod has two cameras, one on the front, one on the back, and the one I'm using now, the one on the front, has better lighting, and as I'm going to be showing you things in this video, it seemed to make more sense to use this one. So, I'm going to have to live with this strange beam of light. Anyway, the reasons I didn't make a video, aside from being quite busy, I am a student after all, and between term times, I'm not always at home, as in this home. I am in my other home, as in where my family lives. Anyway. And a few weeks ago, I did go out on a night out with some friends. I say a few weeks, it might have been about a month ago. I don't know. Anyway. I ended up getting facially injured because, well, I didn't get in a fight, as I made out on Facebook. What happened was, I offered a friend a piggyback home as we were walking home. I don't even know why. And he's not the lightest of people, but he didn't give me any time to prepare myself. It was pretty much, I said, do you want a piggyback? Without giving me a yes or a no, he just dived onto my back and I face planted the concrete. Didn't lose any teeth, thankfully, but it did look like I'd been in a scrap. So I had to wait for that to heal. And I was busy up until then. Well, up until now. I am kind of busy. I have to get up at 8 o'clock for a 9 o'clock lecture. Anyway. I'm going to just jump right in then. I need to explain the video. I did in a previous video show off some of my favourite games. But my game collection, it has grown, but some of these games were there before. I just didn't include them because they're not that important or special to me. But this is mainly going through the remainder of my games. There are a few ones I've left out, but they're mostly sequels. So anyway, without further ado, this is the game collection revisited. I would like to state that not all of these are mine. Some of them are that other people have bought and brought to my house and left here, or they've lended to me, and not asked for them back. I will give them back, because I do have other games that are owed to me, but I'll get to that. Anyway, starting off, yes, Call of Duty. Me and my housemate and our friend, who doesn't live here but comes here often, we used to play this because the friend who visits used to bring it. Whenever he left, me and my housemate couldn't play. So we pitched together and bought it because it's fun, I guess. It's for a while. It can get pretty boring at times. It's not my favourite game, but it's fun just to chill out with. I realise I haven't thought where to put these when I've finished. That'll have to do. So Call of Duty. I've always been since Call of Duty 4, a bit of a hater. It was just the same thing being re-released, and I didn't find it interesting, especially not World at War. I couldn't stand World at War. I don't know why, it just didn't hit it for me, but Call of Duty 4, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm not saying this game is good as Call of Duty 4, but it's mildly entertaining and I don't really care that much anymore about my hatred for Call of Duty. The second game is something that I was suggested to get in my previous video, and I was going to get it anyway, but it took me some time. But Far Cry 3. This game is amazing. I bought Far Cry 2 when it was released, and I was immensely disappointed by it. It was fun at times, but a lot of it was very annoying. This, however, it's amazing. Using the bow and just taking down enemies quietly. It's a lot of fun. You do feel a lot like Legolas. The story itself is quite interesting as well. I haven't finished it yet, but all the different sort of aspects of insanity and your psyche. It's an interesting story. It's fairly well thought out compared to the originals. I'm going to have to move this box because the friend who was bringing around Call of Duty stood on our Call of Duty box and broke it. Yeah, he promised he'd give us a replacement box, this box, but no. Next, NBA. This isn't mine. My friend bought this because, I don't know, he was just suddenly in the mood for basketball, but I would admit it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing NBA. I don't know that much about basketball, the players, and I'm starting to learn. But obviously, I fell in love with Miami Heat, LeBron James, and Ray Allen as well. He is so good. Every time I bring him on, my friends will get annoyed because I can always get the money shot with Ray Allen. And LeBron, what's more there to say? Throughout all the teams that I played, but Miami Heat are like the Barcelona of NBA. And it's a bit cheap to use them, but I'm a noob at NBA, so I have to learn somehow. It's a lot of fun though. Next, Max Payne. I'm a big fan of Rockstar, and yeah, I bought it a while ago, probably before Christmas. I can't remember. I got it for 15 quid, not bad. It's a very good game. It's interesting to see where Rockstar will take their engines in preparation for GTA 5. It's very cold. I just realised I should have probably put a jumper on. Yeah, the story is very interesting. I haven't finished it yet, as ever. I'm terrible with games, but it is very good. The gameplay itself is incredible, and there's nothing more satisfying than diving in slow motion through a room, popping everyone. Online, my first game online was amazing. I did so well, and I just fell in love with it. It was obviously a fluke. Afterwards I started to just become average like everyone else, but that first game I ever played online, I didn't know what I was doing. I was running around shooting everyone, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but yeah, Deus Ex Human Revolution. The summer it came out, I think I actually bought it for like 30 quid when it was, I don't know, a week or so old. I think I got a pre-owned edition, I'm not sure. But, well, I saw the videos, and I saw a bit of hype leading up to it, and I had played a bit of Deus Ex Visible War, which I know many classic Deus Ex lovers will say isn't a very good game, but I enjoyed it. I was pretty young when I played it. But when this came out, I saw it as the potential of being a very, very good first-person shooter RPG with like an open-ended kind of world with different possibilities of completing missions. And it is, to an extent. I found as I played through, I started out as a very kind character. I would never kill anyone, I would always just knock them out, using tranquilizer guns or getting close and just taking them out. But then you get to the boss fights, and then you see that the game is completely different in this sort of arena, and if you don't have powerful weapons, you will get slaughtered, as I learned the hard way. So I had to readjust, and eventually became a ruthless killer, because I needed to get powerful guns and stuff to survive. I still play it stealthily though. I kind of always play a game stealthily if I got the choice. I just enjoy being quiet, and I don't like a lot of attention on myself, I guess. it is always fun to take people out and see them all going crazy, like, who done it, Yeah. The ending, it was okay. It wasn't brilliant, and they were kind of trying too hard to make you think about consequences of your actions, sort of thing. But hey, Saints Row the Third. This isn't mine. This is a friend's. An exchange. He borrowed my Batman Arkham City, which I loved as a game, and I need back. But this is a lot of fun. Yeah, I've not finished it, and I probably won't finish it. I generally just run around with a giant purple dildo, smacking people, and causing other various public disturbances. It's very light-hearted. It's a very silly sort of GTA. And as much as I like San Andreas and how like you could customise pretty much everything and the ridiculous missions and stories, I did prefer the more realistic GTA. So this was it's good, but it's not to my taste. In a way, well, I say that, but I played it a lot and I enjoyed it. But story-wise, it didn't compel me. Borderlands, again, not mine. I borrowed it from a friend who didn't like it, and then I played it with my little sister. She's 12 now, but she was 11, and we loved it. It's very well done. I was tempted to get the new one, but I kind of need people to play it with. It's not as fun by itself. It is very much a co-op game, and rightfully so. There's nothing like getting bigger and better guns and just going crazy with it, like helping each other out, shooting most ridiculous sort of weapons. But it's fun. Yeah, I would recommend it to anyone who wants a good co-op game. I don't know how it is by yourself. I tried it for a bit and I just got bored straight away because there was no one there to sort of enjoy it with. It is kind of a strange sort of like, in a way it's like a multiplayer, as in an MMO, as in there's enemies always spawning in the same areas and they're all levelled, and as you get better levels you go to higher leveled areas, which sometimes I like. In this game it worked well, but I don't always like that sort of thing. I've never been a big fan of MMOs, to be honest, mainly for that exact reason. That, and I just don't have the time or the money. Fallout New Vegas. I probably mentioned it in my previous video, I can't remember, but I felt that this was a disappointment. As a huge Fallout fan, I played the originals, and I loved Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas was a bit of a disappointment. I don't know, it's just the feeling in general of the world. I enjoyed some of the better mechanics, like aiming down the sights, the hunger system, and all the new guns and stuff like that, but I don't know, just the atmosphere wasn't the same. In Fallout 3, you felt like an apocalypse had genuinely gone off, and you were lurking around a ruined city, at first being very careful because you would get slaughtered by the space mutants, the mutants. They're not from space. But that didn't have the same feeling. I don't know. I've never had a chance to, well, it's not about chance, it's about wanting to finish it. I've never wanted to. I can never bring myself to. Yeah. I'm going to speed through these, I'm sorry, there's about half left. Dead Rising, 2 for £30. Wow. This is one of the in fact the first game I bought for my Xbox 360, this and a racing game, PDR3 or something like that. I didn't choose that, my dad did, because he was like, we need a co-op game so other people can play, even though I was the one buying the Xbox 360. Whatever. Yeah, Dead Rising. I can't remember why I bought it at the time. I could have bought... Oh, I got Halo 3 free with my Xbox, so I suppose I did have a shooter. There's nothing like going around killing lots of zombies. I disliked, to an extent, the time system. Sometimes I just wanted to run around, mucking about, putting cones on zombies' heads. And I didn't like the boss fights. I'm not really a fan of Japanese games and stuff like that. I found quite repetitive, but the zombie genre for me has always been a big win. So, it will always have a place in my heart. I have played Dead Rising 2. It wasn't mine, it was my cousin's. And I almost finished it for him. He just liked watching me. And I did play I can't remember what it was called. It was like the demo for Dead Rising 2, but you paid for it. It's like a little small American town. It's fun. I still play it from time to time. Just running around with a sword and a bow. The bow's not very good actually now I think about it, but the sword's very good. And the dual wielding paddle chainsaws and the motorbikes and stuff. Dead Rising 2 is a much better game. Anyway, Godfather 2. Another game I have yet to finish. And I probably never will. It's not mine, it's my friend's. He recommended it. He told me to play Godfather first, which is unbelievably old. So the graphics were terrible. But this is a bit more updated. And it is pretty fun. The whole system, you can see a little bit of it there. The whole system of controlling an empire and taking over the cities and different crime rings and stuff is fun. It's not very deep, but it's fun. Sometimes there's bugs and there's problems. Well, I enjoyed it, but once again, I never got around to finishing it. I am like that. Next, another game that isn't mine. It's in a fancy case as well. I'll show it to you. Tom Clancy's Endwar. Now, the demo came out. I played Little just all the time with plastic. The whole voice operated command system is very clever. It's all metal and shiny. Real-time strategy games don't work very well on consoles, and people have always trying to perfect them. But this is... I enjoyed it, but it's not very complex. It's a very rock, paper, scissors kind of game. As in, well, tanks beat troops, aircraft beat tanks, anti-aircraft beat aircraft, and then troops beat anti-aircraft, that sort of thing. You get the idea. It's very simple. There was a massive multiplayer system for it, which I thought was pretty clever, where each person would sign up for a particular allegiance and then fight the battles online in like a Risk sort of style world, with everything expanding. The problem was, with most people being American, most people chose the American side, so the European and Russian sides were greatly let down. And from the little I saw, obviously I got it, I don't know, about 9 months ago. But I tried playing online, I couldn't find anyone. But when I saw the map, the Americans were just bossing it, which I'm not really surprised by. And it's in the sort of vein, Civilization Revolution. I can't remember why I bought this. It's fun, entertaining for a while. I did enjoy. I remember buying. I used to play the demo a lot, and eventually I saw it in the store for like a tenner or something. I was like, I might as well buy it. It's not very complicated because obviously it's a console game. I did eventually buy Civilization 5, which I enjoyed more. I have heard Civilization 4 was even better. When I was a kid, my mum had like Civilization 2. I didn't understand it. I was quite young. It was a bit too complicated for me. But I always like stuff like that, building up an empire, going through the ages. It's quite cartoony. But it's a fairly interesting game. I haven't touched it in a while. Me and my cousin, because he got it as well, after I showed it to him, we used to play every now and then, kind of against each other in the way that you work to kill off the AI and then fight. But we never got around to it, because the games would take too long. Another game. I bought this for, it says £2, but at the time I think I literally bought it for like £1. Shadowrun. Now, the story behind this is in one of the summer holidays years and years ago, me and some of my friends, there was no new games out and we were pretty bored, and someone found the demo for Shadowrun. Now at this point Shadowrun was already an old game, but the funny thing was the demo was more popular than the actual game. So we would just spend days playing this demo because it was multiplayer, and it was just the same map and the same game tag over and over again. But in a Counter-Strike sort of way, each round you begin with like a little bit of money, and as the round progresses, you get more money until eventually the game ends and it all restarts. And we played this for ages together in the rainy days. And when I saw it for like £1, I was like, oh, I better get it and see what the actual game like. The first online game I played, there was like 4 people playing, and I joined one side, and one of the guys on the side just immediately team killed me, revived me, and then team killed me again. I was just sat there like, it's a good start. I don't think I've played it ever since. I played a few other games that day. I was determined not to let one guy defeat me, but it wasn't the same at the demo. Mirror's Edge. I don't think this is mine. I think a friend, he might have given it to me because he'd finished it and didn't think he'd play it again. It's very good. I haven't finished it. I got to a bit where I was just stuck on and I didn't know what to do. And I've never gone back to it. I could probably do it now, but it's the game. The free running aspects are very good. You have to get used to it. Wow, E3 2008. That was a long time ago. I didn't think it was that old. I feel old now. It is very clever and it is very fun. The graphics, the visuals. To say it was such a simplified sort of idea. Very well done. The shooting, obviously it's not a shooting game, so the shooting aspect is a little bit to be desired. But yeah, it's still pretty fun. I would suggest it to anyone because it would be very cheap now. It's very cheap, very good for a run through. Next, Saboteur. Vive la vengeance. Me and my friend went to game one day because we were bored. We just wanted cheap games, and so we got 3 for £2. I ended up keeping this because he finished it, or well, he didn't finish. He got close to. Best of E3 2009. Wow, I feel older still. It's mildly entertaining. It's very repetitive. You pretty much, I don't know, it's kind of like a strange GTA sort of wannabe. It's interesting to fight the Nazis and bring the resistance to certain areas of Paris, but the mechanics aren't great. The the story is a bit pants, and the voice acting, oof, it is terrible. The main guy is meant to be Irish, and I could do a better Irish accent than that, and my Irish accents are terrible. Top of the morning to you. I haven't actually played this. I played number 2 with my cousin, which I really enjoyed. Is this even 2-player? Yeah, it is 2-player. I haven't played this. My friend brought it down around one day and said, "Oh, we should play this," and then we didn't. It's a bit grotty, actually. British Academy Awards nominee. All I can talk about is Cambridge 2, which I enjoyed. I thought it was quite a good game. The story was weird at times, very unbelievable, but it was entertaining. The gameplay itself, obviously it's very repetitive because it's just a cover shooter, but it was still good. Running around to and fro cover, not having a lot of ammo, that was the biggest thing. And you were just constantly changing weapons, which I thought was quite entertaining. Another game I haven't played, I don't know why I'm even using this. I played Dragon Age. I don't have it with me because it's not technically mine, it's my dad's, because he's a big RPG fan. Now, Dragon Age, the original one, was supposed to be the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. Complete lie. I don't know, just the fantasy realm, it wasn't the same. The voice acting is good, in a similar sort of vein to Mass Effect. The way that the characters flesh out towards you is good. I haven't even played this. I've heard it's a bit more like Mass Effect. Maybe I'll play it one day. I can't really be bothered. The previous one bored me. I got so far, and then I just couldn't be bothered to complete it. And I'd rather complete the old one before I start that one. Maybe you can carry the characters on? I'm not even sure. I hope so. This brings us to the last game in my list, which feels pretty sticky. That's weird. The game that's not mine. I don't really want to touch it. 2011. My friend brought it down one day. We played a few games, and we haven't touched it since. And he left it here. I'm not really much of a racing game fan. I enjoyed Test Drive Unlimited, but I never bought it. I do kind of like driving games, but I would never like them enough to buy them. They're just, it's not really something I can find that entertaining. I prefer shooting things, I guess, or kicking a ball around, or just an RPG in general with a story and characters, rather than just, here's a car, here's a racetrack, go. So, yes. This is such a list. It's almost a half an hour long video. Crazy. You can't even see, ooh, that almost fell off then. You can't even see all of them. But yes, this is a huge, huge list. That was pretty cool. So, yeah. I hope you have enjoyed this rambling video. Maybe you can tell that I had run out of ideas for a video. So this is the best thing I could come up with. Hopefully it has entertained you at the least, and maybe even relaxed you. I'm not sure. I'd say probably not. Still, if you're using this to go to sleep, then good night. And if you're just watching out of pure curiosity or just to chill out, then I hope you are relaxed, and I hope you maybe enjoyed my views on some of these games. It was very brief. I kind of had to fly through. Obviously some of them were games I enjoy more. I would have talked more. I say that and I look mainly at Far Cry, because it's a good game. If you don't have it, I suggest getting it. Yeah, so this has been